Hey everyone, Miss Brown here to talk to you about your Week 9 Science Journal. So don't forget, on Friday we have our weekly WebEx at 11 a.m. Join, please. I miss all your faces and I'd love to see you. You can click right here for the link, or you can look on Monday's post in Google Classroom. Don't forget, every slide has its own audio. Hey everyone, here is your week. So let's say you listen to the Screencastify video at the beginning of the week and you just want a little refresher, you can always listen to the audio. Okay, so welcome to your Week 9 journal. Just like previous weeks, you'll be completing activities designed to help continue your learning, various tasks. Feel free to change up this slideshow if you need to. So a note about grading, I'm not going to read this. If you want to hear me talk about it, click on this little volume. Basically, you got to do your work to pass, and you got to get a 70 on the quiz, at least. So here are my office hours. I'm available from 10 to 11 every day except Thursday, and then from 1 to 3. If you need to pop into my WebEx meeting, I'll have that open. So if you want to drop in, ask a question, and leave, that works for me. So journal topics. This week we're going to talk about homeostasis. You'll hear me say this word about 112 million times. And cells and body system analogies. So analogy is when you compare two items that really aren't necessarily alike, but you're comparing them for a certain aspect. For example, a function of a part of the body and another item that might have a similar function. So watch this video here, click my Bitmoji with my little coffee cup to hear me talk about this journal. I'll put the Screencastify here. So speaking of Bitmojis, do you have a Bitmoji or an avatar? I would love to see it. Drop it here, bing, 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 because I want to see how cute you are. Okay, so here's the science checklist. When an item is complete, highlight it in red, or you can delete it. It's just kind of a way to give you a nice overview of what we're doing. So Monday, Tuesday, homeostasis. Wednesday, homeostasis analogies. Thursday, cell body analogies. And then Friday is when we take that weekly quiz. Okay, so Monday, you're going to click to watch internal versus external stimuli. I made sure to link the videos and not the playlist this time. Pay attention to definitions of stimulus versus response. So you're going to watch this video right here. It's about 1 minute long, and pay attention to stimulus and response. So I'm going to get rid of that. Then you're going to click to watch Home Alone from 1990, the booby trap scene. And then I want you to look for one example of a stimulus and one example of a response. So right here, it's about 2.5 minutes. One of the greatest movies. And then look for an example of stimulus and response. And then you're going to write about it on the next slide. And then there's a little bit more for Monday. So there's a couple more slides, but there's an optional video. This one's pretty cool. If you want to watch actual doctors diagnose what really would have happened to the actors during all those injuries, you can watch it. It's about 7 minutes long, but it's worth it. Oh, it's only 2 minutes long. What am I talking about? So it's 2 minutes long, almost 3 minutes long. Yeah, and it's just crazy to hear them actually talk about what really would have happened to them. So let me X out of that, X out of that. Okay, moving on. So right here's where you'll do your quick write. After watching Home Alone, write one example of stimulus, one example of response. You may write in paragraph form or do a graphic organizer, a T-chart, whatever you want. So last thing for Monday, watch this video, homeostasis, and then on the next slide, fill in the blanks, and then use your new knowledge of homeostasis and do the next slide. So right here's the video you're going to watch. What is homeostasis? It's about 4 minutes. And then answer these questions on the next slide. So right here, in most circumstances, our body remains at constant blank. So you're going to fill in these blanks. Sorry, y'all, I've been talking a lot doing my videos today, losing my voice. If you want to hear me read out the sentence stems, hit this button. And then this is the analogy part. So the human body maintains homeostasis, or internal conditions similar to a fishbowl. So conditions in a fishbowl must be kept constant or the same in order for the fish to stay healthy and survive. So it's kind of like us, and the world is our fishbowl, so to speak. So I want you to take the glass of a fishbowl, the air pump, and the filter of a fishbowl, and tell me what parts of the human body does it remind you of. keeping in mind these functions. So glass is like a barrier, keeps certain things in versus out. The air pump keeps oxygen levels stable, and the filter keeps waste levels stable. So what things in the body remind you of each of those? Okay, homeostasis, stimulus versus response. So you're going to use the information from this video right here, and you are going to answer these questions. You're either going to fill in the stimulus or fill in the response. If you want to hear me reading this, hit this little volume button, and there are 7 choices from the answer bank, and there are 7 red spots that you can fill in, so each are used once. Okay, Tuesday, May 12th, lab day. So here are some materials required for the lab. If you want to do them, that's what you'll need. 2 bowls, a spoon, a liquid measuring cup, and some water. Then you can click right here to see the instructions for the lab. Let me show you. So let me X out of this. So right here's what you're going to do for the lab. But first, let me tell you that if you don't have materials or you don't have time to do the lab, you can click right here and you can watch Mrs. Wayman, the 7th grade accelerated science teacher, do the lab with her son. So right here, Wayman Laboratories. So right here, you can kind of watch them do it. If you don't have the materials, the lab is still required. So you either need to do it yourself or you need to watch them do it and then talk about it. Don't forget my YouTube playlist has all of the videos right here for you. So if you ever need this, or you can subscribe to it, and then you'll have all of the videos ready for you to go. So 714 views, that's really good, guys. That makes me think that you're watching it. And 63 videos, cool. So you're gonna click here to do the lab sheet, and then you're gonna click here to do the analysis questions. So here's the lab. So you're gonna need 1 liquid measuring cup that holds at least a cup of liquid. It looks like this. You're gonna need 2 bowls to hold at least a cup of liquid. Regular cereal bowls are great. You're gonna need a regular teaspoon, some water, and a sink close by. No materials, no time, no problem. Click here once again, and you can just watch these guys do it instead. So here's what you're gonna do. You're gonna fill up the measuring cup. Look at the side that measures in volume by ounces. See it right there? And then you're gonna find 4 ounces. Get a good look at it, and this is gonna be your goal volume from now on. So I want you to think about like how much water is 4 ounces. So 4 ounces is right here, because if this is 8, then that's 4. Then set aside your measuring cup for later. No cheating. So don't like pour 4 ounces in, pour it out. Just kind of get an idea. So what you're going to do is you're going to fill one of your bowls almost all the way full with water. You don't need to measure. You can call this one bowl A, or just keep it on the left-hand side like in my picture. Then you're going to get your spoon and remaining empty bowl. We're going to call this bowl B. So I put bowl B on the right-hand side. So long story short, you're going to dip your spoon in your bowl until you can fill up the spoon as much as you can. Then you're going to carefully transfer your spoonful of water to bowl B, or the empty bowl. So move from the left to the right. Then you're going to repeat filling and transferring spoonfuls of water from the left bowl to the right bowl, or bowl A to bowl B, until you think you have 4 ounces of liquid. Stop when you think you're there. Then, after you're done, I want you to pour the contents of bowl B into the liquid measuring cup. Tell me how many ounces of water you have, and if it's between ounce markers, just estimate. I want whole numbers only. And then record the amount of water that you have in your chart in your digital journal. So not on here, in your journal. So notice how all my goal volumes are set to 4. That's what you want. And then you're going to tell me how many you actually got. So for example, if I got 2, then my difference would be 2, because 4 minus 2 is 2. So find the difference from the goal volume, dump your water into the sink, and then you're going to do that 4 more times. Notice how it says 5 examples. So you're going to repeat this 5 different times. Then answer the analysis questions in your journal. So notice that's the last page. So then I go back here, and it's the same chart that I showed you. Notice how I already have the 4s filled in. So you're going to do it 5 times, do the difference for the math, write it there. Put the lab instructions and the videos there again for you, and answer questions here, which will just bring you to the next slide. So answer these 5 questions. What is homeostasis? How does this activity model the body maintaining homeostasis? In terms of the human body, what do the water, the measuring cup, and the spoon represent? Be sure to mention each one. Number 4, how does this activity, or how would this activity be different if the teacher went around and just randomly scooped water in or out of your bowl B? What would you have to do to still get enough ounces, or those 4 ounces? And then 5, explain how your body would maintain homeostasis if you accidentally ate bad, spoiled Taco Bell. How would your body systems possibly react? Okay, moving on to Wednesday, May 13th. So you're going to click here to read this article about homeostasis. Please pay particular attention to the section titled Homeostatic Response to Temperature Regulation. So you're going to click open this, and you are going to focus right here, homeostatic responses and temperature regulation. So read that and take a look. Let me get rid of this. And let me get rid of this. So you're going to take a look at that particular part in close detail. Then I want you to create a story in this Google form I'll show you in a second called Hot or Cold. I want you to explain, how does your body respond when the temperature gets too high or too low? So like if you get too hot or too cold, what does your body do to regulate itself to keep that homeostasis? But the trick is, I want you to pretend like you're explaining it to a group of 3rd graders. So you have to know it well enough to keep it simple so that they can understand it. And you're going to type it in this Google form. So your name, last name, class period, and then I put the long answer, so it should give you enough room. And then I want you to listen to this song to get ready for the second half of the week. Y'all know this song. Cells, cells, they're made of organelles. So it'll be stuck in your head for a million years. You are welcome. Okay, moving on to Thursday. So once again, you're going to review that song if you're doing it different days. Obviously, if you're working and you're going through, watching it once is enough. And then read over this for some info. I don't think I clicked that. Here we go. So this is a really awesome book that we found. I've talked about it before, and it's got really great, simple, easy readings with some really great pictures. So if you want to download this and save it, it would be helpful for you as a resource. So you're going to review that song again, look over this paper that I just gave you, the cool pages, and then you're going to click on the next slide, match the organelle with the proper function. So you're going to need to do this for the next activity. So go to the body system review when you're done, do the flippity scavenger hunt, and then the fridge magnet. So let me show you. Check out this packet, so to speak. Watch the cells, the rate of organelles video. This one. And then you're going to move on to the next. So right here, you're going to match up each of these terms with the function. So chloroplast, nucleus, cell wall, so on and so forth. Click this. I read every single word on here. And then you're just going to drag and drop. So if you think that's nucleus, I'm going to pick it up and I'm going to move it right there. And then there's exactly the right amount of words and write exactly the right amount of functions. So when you're done with that, you're going to do this flippity scavenger hunt right here. So you click on each lock, you can go in any order, and you answer the question. I am the body's first line of defense against invasion and injury. And you can click out of it if you don't know, go back. I work with skeletal system to control the body's movement. So try each of those. If you can't get them and if you get stuck, it's not the end of the world. Don't be blowing up my email, ask me what lock 4 is. Just try your best. And then go to the slide for instructions on the fridge magnet activity. So after you do the matchups, go here. So you're going to click here to go to the fridge magnet activity. What you're going to do is you're going to organize a little fridge magnets to make sentences like this. Organelle is like the body system because they both blah, blah, blah. So organelle blank. So let's say, let's go to the flippity so I can tell you right here. So let's say you say mitochondria. Mitochondria is like what body system? So the mitochondria is like, remember the mitochondria is like the powerhouse of the cell. So what thing on here reminds you of like the powerhouse of the cell? So let me see. So I think mitochondria reminds me of the excretory system. And I need to think of how does the mitochondria, the powerhouse of the cell, relate to the excretory system? Is that a really good choice? What's the excretory system? Get stuff out of the body. Probably not. Is the mitochondria like the reproductive system? Because notice I'm trying to figure out what body system relates to what organelle. So mitochondria is like the reproductive system. Is it like the excretory system? And notice how each of these we tried to keep them pink, and then they match with the pink. And then notice the organelles are blue, and the organelles here are blue. So you're going to take all the organelles, maybe organize them like this. That might be more helpful. And then take all your is likes, organize them like that. And then you're going to try to match up what organelle matches with what system, and then keep going. And then you're going to tell me because they both what and what the function is. So notice how because they both, we have a ton of those, because they both, because they both, because they both. And then you're going to take the yellows and take those all and kind of get those going. So you're going to make a sentence with each one of these. And then I want your screenshot flippity when you're done. So when you're done, you go here, Shift Command 4. You can screenshot it, and then it will save it to my, it will save it to my desktop. Okay, sweet. So let me go out of that. And then you're going to pick one pairing and tell me why you think they're most alike right here. So put your screenshot. So I'm just going to upload. I can go to Insert, Image, Upload from my computer, Desktop, and it will be down here for screenshot right here. And then I can kind of shrink it down and put it there so I know you did it. And then you're going to type here one sentence to tell me why you think they're most alike. So I'm actually going to X out of this so that way it's not on your journal. Sweet. And then here, finally, Friday, thank goodness. So go to this slide to help me grade some responses. Do some quizzes if you want. I only opened one because I wasn't going to open all of them. They look the same. And then take this weekly quiz right here. So before, let's do this. So you're going to read each one of these. If you want to hear me read it, click on the volume button, and you're going to either leave correct or leave incorrect. Leave whichever one you think is right. So if you read this and you think the student got it correct, go like this, delete incorrect. If you think that you read this and the student doesn't really know what they're talking about, delete that, leave that there. If it's incorrect, you need to tell me why, give me some feedback. And then once you're done with that, you can go take your weekly quiz. If you want to practice some quizzes, you can. Click here. It'll bring you to the weekly quiz. Get it done. Need at least a 70. It will tell you which ones you missed, and it will let you retake it. And there we go. So here are your graded tasks. There were 10 this week. So slides 8, 10, 11, 13, 14, 15. I'm not doing a flip grid anymore. I'm going to do a Jamboard. So we're going to do a flip grid next week. 17, 19, 20, the quiz, 21. Check, make sure they're done. Make sure you have a 70 on your quiz. Then make sure you turn it in. That's the only way that I'm going to know if you're done or not. Hope I'll love you, miss you. As always, you fill my bucket each and every day. If you need me, I'm here. If you have questions, please ask. Love you all. Miss you all. Bye.